All right, welcome, Jason.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, let's go. What series of events got you into this crazy world of Facebook groups, monetization? How did you learn about GroupConvert? How did you stumble upon this world? Because that's always interesting for me to hear, because it's so specific. Like we teach a very specific method, and not everyone, unless they know us, they're just living their life the way that they've always lived it. So
Sure.
what happened? Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that, Jason. How did you stumble upon this crazy world?
So, yeah, I had a Facebook group and I had grown it to, a fairly decent size, I felt. Um, and I had a coaching program kind of, it really wasn't super organized. It was put together okay. Um, and I really wanted to monetize it. And I had a few things here and there where I picked up students and started coaching them and I was getting them success, but I had a group full of people and it just wasn't super engaged and I wasn't monetizing and I knew there was a way to do it. I just wasn't really clear on how to go about doing that. And I saw one of Kim's amazing videos that really made me laugh. It made me watch it all the way through. But most of all, I was like, wow, that really makes sense. I wonder if it could work for me. So I went to check it out. I did a call with you, which was amazing that you took my call while you were traveling. I remember distinctly. and so after our call, I wasn't in a place financially at that moment, but I knew that one way or the other, I had to find a way to do it. I was like, this is for me. I really believe in it. I believed in everything you were telling me. I was like, wow, she's really doing this and I have to do it too. I jumped in a 5-day challenge and by the end of that challenge, I was like, okay, now I have to do this like right now. This is amazing. I managed to find the investment and I invested and immediately was blown away as soon as I jumped into Ignite. I was like, wow, I knew I could do it once I saw the resources and the coaches, the teams, the calls, just everything, and super excited and I just knew I could do it.
I love that, Jason. And I love your journey because your journey is the journey that we teach, which is attention to a 5-day challenge, to having your mind shift around like from having an asset, which is a lot of you guys listening in, you might have a Facebook group right now. You might, sometimes convert and then some of your clients have results, but it's still not clicking. It's still not making sense. There's still a lot of questions. And so I want to dive into that, Jason, because it it sounds kind of like fluid, easy of you going, oh, okay, I got to do this. But what is it in the way that you experienced even the free stuff that we provide, which is our training, that made you go, "Whoa, this really makes sense for me. I got to do this." Like, what are the components that enable you to see it from this from the way that you thought before, which is like it's there's something there. I just don't know what it is. To
Right.
okay, this makes sense.
Right. So initially, I never really looked at my Facebook group as an asset like it really is. I thought maybe kind of it was, and I had some ideas about some things, but just the way that you lay everything out, it makes it easy for you to understand and see the potential of, okay, that makes sense. I see how that works. Then the cool free stuff that you give inside of the training was like, man, you can kind of apply that and see things kind of start to make a shift. And it just really, for me, it was kind of like I had the puzzle pieces. And as you took me through that 5-day challenge, I really saw the pieces, like how they could really all fit together. But I needed you to help me put them together.
Yeah, we didn't run the training so that you could be like, all right, Kim, that was good. I'm just gonna go off and do that because I'm all good over here. We did run it in a way that it's like, hey, here's all the things, here's what it looks like, and then we are the very next step in your journey. That was definitely deliberate. But yeah, like so now then you're in, and what happens? You said that you were blown away. What was let's get into the details, because when I do an interview, I love to kind of dive into the details to for someone to listen in, and they're not like, oh man, this is just fluff. They're like, oh man, this, oh, I got this particular detail from this interview, and that made sense for me. So what what enabled you to say, okay, the pieces are coming together? Was it the fact that you saw your asset, and then you saw the way I position a clear path to purchase? You saw the way that if you pitch one to many into the group, or you saw the way that you're creating this environment for your people to actually say yes to an offer for you. So what was it that the pieces that you had, and then how did you see those pieces coming together for
So,
yourself?
so again, after seeing all your, going through your training and everything, I really saw, okay, this is possible. This really is an asset. It's not just, a group, so to speak. There's really something to it. And I had a lot of people interested in what I was doing, but kind of watching from the sidelines. And you kind of talked about, how to bring things alive and all of these things. And as you took me through that, I saw the pieces start to fit. And then when I actually joined Ignite, I was like, wow, this is amazing, because like the videos, the modules, I've been through many different types of trainings and courses and things like that. And I love the fact that it's kind of like the old adage of how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. The videos weren't, you didn't have to sit there for hours to get the information. It was very direct, to the point. The videos were very short, easy to consume. Your team is very good at guiding you and making sure that you take action. And this is what I do full time. So, I don't have a job outside. I mean, this is my life. This is what I do. So I just jumped in and started implementing. And the coaching calls, the support within the network, it's like, your Kim Dang ecosystem is amazing, and it's very supportive, but people are very knowledgeable. And it really kind of helped build my confidence, because I was a little shaky when I first got in. Like, in the back of my head, I knew I could do it, but I had those, you know, slivers of doubt, like, is this really going to work? But as I received the support, and, like when I got on with Michael and he really helped me refine my offer, I felt so confident. I was like, man, this is amazing. So, having that support was like game changer for me. When I hit that point, that's when I knew, like, definitely I'm going to have some success at this. I just have to navigate it. And if I get off course correct, but I'm going to get there. I knew I could do it.
I love that, Jason. And so it was one call with Michael, jumping on the call with him, getting clarity about your offer. Before that, what were you charging? How much were you charging? And what was your conversion? Like, how much were you selling
So,
before entering Ignite?
so prior to Ignite, I had only actually closed 2 deals, and they were at a 5K price point. And I felt some of that was because I didn't have a good, clear, solid offer, and I wasn't showing, enough value in what it was kind of like I had it all in here, but I didn't have it down in any kind of, structure like a Google Doc, or, I knew how I wanted to do it in my head, but Michael helped me really get it clear, put it down on a Google Doc. You can see it, you can understand it, and make it really, really clear. And from that point, like, conversions changed very drastically for me. So prior to Ignite, I literally had only enrolled 2 students into my program, 5K program, but it was many, many months prior to joining Ignite.
How many months were you trying to get the 2 sold?
So about 6 months.
All right, 6 months. Okay,
Yeah.
and then you entered into Ignite, and let's talk about what happened. How once you got the call with Michael, jumped on that call, what did you do next? Let's
So
walk through your
basically, he just gave me
effort.
he gave me a real clear path. Like, okay, these are the things that you need to do. We have your offer in place, and this is where you need to start. So at that point, I followed exactly what he said to do. And so to kind of hold my feet to the fire, I went out on social media and put, hey, I'm going to be launching a new program, blah, 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 and kind of broke it down the way he had helped me structure it. And immediately, my ding, 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 I was receiving messages of people, oh, I'm interested, where can I book the call? So I had to sort a couple of things out there so it wasn't hard for people to navigate. And immediately I closed 3 deals in the first 5 days.
Wow, 6 months of going at it and 2 deals, and
Yeah.
then coming in, getting clarity on your offer, being told exactly what to do. You did it. In 5 days, you closed 3 deals.
Yeah. And that was literally just from a post that I put out, kind of broadcasting to the world about this new program I had. And I kind of structured it just like Michael had helped me do in my actual post. And people just immediately responded to it. And I think a lot of that was because of how it was laid out. Like, he really helped me structure it to where, you could tell that I had some knowledge and I knew what I was doing, that I wasn't just some guy that jumped on the internet, figured out a couple of things and said, hey, come, I'm going to teach you for a whole bunch of money to do stuff. It was very, very detailed, structured, and just really well put together. And like I said, just reading it myself, I felt so much confidence from that. And he made me feel confident about it. And then as soon as I closed those deals, I was like ringing the bell. Yeah, this is awesome. And then all of a sudden, people, through the Slack channel were jumping on and saying, congratulations, this is great. And, you just feel the support and the camaraderie within the community. And so I was just like, I'm in the right place and I'm doing what I need to be doing. And this is going to be great. So I just continued to follow that path, and that's what I've been doing since.
I love that, Jason. It's amazing. I love that for you. So 3 deals you closed. What's the price point? And I know you closed more since then. So what happened after? What's the price point of the deals? And then what happened after the 3? What do you do next?
So the price point I had at 6K, and so I did that right off the bat, and had I had somebody reserve a spot that was going to have the money. They just didn't have it at that moment. So they put down, a deposit to kind of hold their spot in the program. And again, I talked to Michael, and he said, you're having success with this, so don't focus on trying to go out and launch. Like, collect cash now, like, get it, do what is actually making you money right now, and then we'll kind of navigate those waters as you go through it. So that's why I just continued to book calls. And then again, I booked a couple of more calls and brought in another 12K. And again, I still haven't launched. My launch is still, a little over a week away, 10 days away yet. And I just had a call this morning, and I still have people that I'll be speaking with prior to that. So even before the launch, there's a chance that I could close, 4 more deals, which would be cool.
Yeah. Wow. I'm so excited. Yes, let's go. So total, how long did it take for you to get the success in terms of how many days after you joined? And then what is the revenue that you're sitting on right now?
So from the day I joined to the day I closed the first deals was 5 days. So because I jumped right in and had a call with Michael, kind of onboarding, letting, telling me how to navigate everything. And then we had it where we laid out and helped structure the offer. And it was really cool because he was really specific with certain things, kind of, making me kind of get out of my own way and say, okay, this is exactly what I'm going to do, and this is how we're going to do it. And again, just having the confidence in your own offer kind of gives you some momentum to move forward. And when I, got on the call with people, I'm excited about it. They were excited about it. So it literally was just like a conversation with somebody that ended in a transaction, really. They're pretty amazing people. And I've already done some coaching calls right now. Sorry.
It's okay.
I've already done a few coaching calls with people that have enrolled with me already. And they're already ready to give me testimonials. And just from everything that I've learned within Ignite, I kind of try to give them the same type of support that you give everybody inside Ignite. So I kind of model what you're doing because, isn't that what we do? When you see somebody that's successful and it's working, why not, reproduce those type of things that they're doing and see a result. And so, that's kind of how I approached the whole thing.
I love it. And so 5 days in to Ignite, you got your first win. How many days in after that? And then how much have you made since then?
So at the 5-day mark, I did a few more calls after that. And then as soon as I finished those calls, I kind of really went to work on starting to build out my challenge, how I was going to structure it and all of that sort of stuff. So I wasn't taking as many calls. So it was about about 2 weeks. I did some calls within there, and it's probably about day 19. I closed 2 more deals for 6K each. So 12K since then. So, and again, I haven't even launched. So I'm really excited about the launch part because I haven't, broadcasted this to my entire group and audience. It's just, a certain narrow demographic at this point in time, but none of it has been, I haven't, there's no paid ads or anything. These are people that are coming to me organically that have just seen the post on social media. So I'm like, I can't even imagine where this could go if I was running ads or, really starting to grow it. So it's even in its infant stage, I've made some pretty decent money already. So I feel like the sky is going to be the limit. I just have to, keep moving forward and apply it.
Yeah, so you're so about 19 days in that you close your deal, so you're sitting around 20K, 20
20, yeah,
around there,
22.
22K.
Yep.
Um, that's amazing. That is amazing. Without a launch.
Yes.
And you're about to do your launch, and you haven't even ran ads. Everything's super organic.
Yep. All organic. Um, no paid ads. So, which is nice. I'm not spending money uh, to try and do this. Like my mind just goes crazy when I start thinking about the possibilities and what if I did this and what if I did that. Like it's really really exciting. Plus, like I said, I still have before my launch, I still have a few more calls booked, so I have the potential, depending on how they go, um, at another 18K. So that would be, I would almost fall off my chair on at that point because I never dreamed it would go that well. I, I didn't think I would close anything before I launched, much less, what I have. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, another 18K is like two, three, four, 40K
Yeah.
for 40K, even before your launch. Let's
Yeah.
go, Jason.
Gosh,
Um,
sorry, everybody else.
I know your phone is ringing. What It's okay. What I know is that when people come into a program and they're like, "Well, I came into this program to launch," and then they just don't do anything until their launch. You're an example of like, "Hey, look, we want you to start converting right away, and we want you to already have a win underneath your belt even before you launch." And you were very open to that idea. You weren't like a stickler for like, hey, or even having everything be perfect before you go. So I want to talk number one, like what's the offer itself that people were saying very easily saying yes to your post, and then how has you said you would fall off your chair? Like, what was the type of income were you pulling in, if you don't mind sharing, before entering into Ignite, and how doing like nearly 40K, the potential of nearly 40K in 1 month, how does that change the way you see your future and shift the way that you see like how your lifestyle would change, or how your future now looks a little bit different? Like,
Sure.
take us through that experience.
So prior to this, like I said, I'd only closed two 5K deals, so 10K total in like a 6 month period. Um, and the other income I was making was it was sporadic and not predictable. So it was kind of really up and down. So, I mean, if you gathered it over a year's time, maybe in a year prior to maybe 25K total for the whole year. Um, uh, because like I said, I've really been struggling and just, really trying to make this thing work online. And, I brought a business partner in to kind of help me, because I just wasn't making any money at all. It just wasn't happening. And then, you close a 5K deal. It's like, it feels great, but then you wait months and again, and it just, I just knew I was doing things wrong. I just couldn't figure out like what was broken, what I wasn't doing correctly. But I had learned so much and had so much knowledge. I was like, I have all this stuff to share and I can really teach people and help people. But if I can't get their attention or talk to them, then I can't help anybody. So, so again, just in this time, if I were to close 40K before I even launch, I mean, that's life changing for me, because that will really give me the momentum to continue to do what I'm doing and build a team as I do it. And as I do that, I can scale it to really something, you know, one to many is such a big game changer than just trying to, DM somebody here and there. And, it's just so much time invested in that, where like when you build the initial launch and get it ready, it does take time, but it doesn't have to be perfect, because the thing is you have to have it out there for people to see it, learn about it, know about it, in order to, and if it doesn't go good, I'll just make some changes and do it again. I mean, but it has to be out there. I mean, that's the biggest thing. And I've always been one of those kind of people that everything has to be perfect and in order. And, clearly I want the tech side of things should work properly, because if they don't, you just look like you don't know what you're doing. But there's a lot of stuff besides that. The tech is fairly minimal when it comes to that. And you guys, through the trainings, give very step by step exactly how to do it. So you can figure it out even if you're not a techie person. So as long as that stuff is good, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm not even stressed about the launch. Like, I'm excited about it, because even if I make mistakes or it doesn't go as I planned, or I'll be able to look back at it and understand what worked, what didn't work. And then the next time is only going to be better. And if I can close, the amount of deals and generate the revenue that I have before I've even launched, then I feel pretty confident that my first launch, even if it doesn't go great, that I still will generate more revenue and still have that, but I'll have the momentum of actually launching and experiencing what that is like. And, as I get that to work, then I'll go out the next month and I'll launch again, and I'll try those changes and I'll test them. And hopefully just each time I launch, I'll improve them until I, really have it refined to where it's really, working exactly how I want it to. And I'm looking forward to taking all of those steps. But I told myself, this is one time I'm not going to say it has to be perfect, everything has to be in place. I'm just going to do it, because I've heard you say, and people within your team and people that have done the same thing with their launches in the past, like, just do it. Just go out and do it. And that is one of the biggest things I've found in general, making money online, period, is actually doing the work, putting in the action, implementing, doing it. Do it, and they will come.
If you do it, they will come.
Yeah.
I love that, Jason. Yeah, so the year before, it would be haphazard. It would be money coming in, but it's not consistent. And then about 25K. And then you come into Ignite and you almost hit that yearly amount in less than a month.
Yeah.
And that and then and you have some more calls coming up, so you might even surpass what you make in a whole year in 1 month as
Yeah.
a potential reality for you. That is pretty life-changing. I'm really excited that you're
It really
experiencing this.
is. It's probably one of the most powerful experiences I've had. Like, again, I've been in the online space for some time, a few years now, and trying to navigate the waters of that. And it can be really difficult. And, that's why I developed my program, to take all of those pain points and things that people struggle with and give them a direct path and teach them how to do that. And like, it's cool to know a bunch of stuff, but I want to share it with a bunch of people. And if I can do that and I can help them and change their lives at the same time, I'm transforming the way my life looks, retire my wife, like, um, you know, whatever it may be, it's exciting. And as you build momentum, I just think it's, kind of like the old train. I build up a head of steam, and who knows where I could take this thing. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah. I what I retiring your wife, being able to do all of this, it's why we have this programs. Let's talk about, like, what have you tried before? How is Ignite different than what you've tried before? Because it sounds like you are not a stranger to this world. You've been at it for a couple years. Like, did you invest in other programs? Did you go through things? Maybe Ignite was your first substantial investment? Um, Tell me a little bit about, like, what are the things you tried before that didn't work? Because 6 months going at it and just enrolling 2 clients, that's a lot of effort for really little results. So let's go into, like, what kind of went wrong, or what you tried before that you're like, oh, I tried this and it didn't work out, and I
So,
invested in this. Mhm.
so yeah, I had, when you scroll through the news feed and on Facebook and you see all these gurus, so to speak, with the different types of programs and things that they have, kind of like shiny object syndrome. I had problem with that. I would go buy something and try and make it work, and it either didn't fit me or my learning style or whatever it was. It just wasn't working. Um, so it was pretty difficult. I had actually invested quite a lot of money in multiple programs before I got to Ignite. To be honest, probably about 70K.
Wow.
And yeah, and multiple different things. And it just wasn't finding the things that were, helping me. One of the programs taught affiliate marketing, and um, I started making, luckily, I was making some money with that because I kind of figured that out with all the different trainings that I had. But, trying to recoup $70,000, in a short period of time with affiliate marketing, it's something that really takes some time to build and make work. And, it just wasn't working. But kind of about the time that I found Ignite, I had really leveled up, like, my like sales training and affiliate marketing and learning how to build courses and things like that. It really dove into the education side, because I thought, well, if I invest again, I really want to know what I'm doing, and I really want to be able to help people. And so, yeah, so I invested quite a bit of money before I got to Ignite, which is why I didn't, on our very first call, I wasn't in a position that I could invest, but I just needed a little bit of time, and as an entrepreneur, you find ways to resource and leverage things, people, whatever it takes, because I really truly believed in it, especially after the 5-day challenge. I was like, somehow, some way, I'm going to figure this out. And I did. And I've never been so glad, and I haven't looked back since. I've just charged ahead and implemented and done exactly what you showed me and what your team has showed me and the coaches inside. And here I am. And I can't wait till I get to talk to you next time and tell you, about the amazing launch that I had.
Yeah, Jason, I'm so excited for you. So the things that didn't work was you invested in a lot of coaching programs. $70,000 is no joke. That's quite a bit. And they just, so some of them worked. So you learned SEO and you learned course making. But that would take you a long time for you to get 70K back in investment. If what you're doing is SEO, because it is search engine optimization. It's like deep. I was at a gym today, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I did lead generation SEO, and my trainer, he was like, "Is that something I should do?" And he's like, "No, no, no, don't start with that. It is." He's like, "It's really nerdy stuff, and you kind of have to go deep with it to actually get any success." And but yeah, like it sounds like you stumbled upon lots of programs, but it didn't give you the type of wins that you want at the type of the way in which you like absorb the information. You told me it wasn't like aligned with your learning style. So can you tell me how Ignite was more aligned with the way in which you absorb information, the way in which you learn? Because you are, when you came in, you are like, hey, I want to do things perfect mentality. And then we kind of like shifted the way that you think about that as well. So what was different about Ignite from your other investments and $70,000 down the hole?
I think one of the biggest things is how you have like an expert coach in each individual area rather than having one person try and teach you 9 different things. You have somebody that's really good at doing this specific thing, and they teach you and guide you and instruct you how to do that. And for me, it allowed me to consume each one of those things at a time rather than trying to drink from a fire hose, so to speak. The coaching calls are very, I would get on, I could ask a question and they would have the answer for me. They understand what I'm talking about and they help me understand why it is they tell me what they tell me. And so it's just easier to consume that way. And I feel like it's a more personal approach. Like I definitely tip of the cap to you on that. I really feel like you really take care of all of the clients that enroll with you. And I like the fact that you personally really get involved with that. And for me, that was a big change because all of the prior programs, like I might take one thing from this one and one thing from this one, and I built up some really good stuff, but I had to go through all of that, and I'm not even kidding, hours and hours of watching videos, not actually having that, you know, call every week, get on, I have a question, I can solve it, take action, implement it, do what I need to do, and keep moving. So I would find myself in the other programs where I was stuck a lot, where in here, everyone helps you continue that forward momentum. And for me, game changer. I just feel like it was much easier to consume, understand, and then turn around and take action and implement.
Yeah, I love that. It was the fact it helps you with speed. You get your questions answered, and then you're moving along. And they're
Yeah.
like the coaches that we have are experts in their industry, and it's what they love and breathe and do. So when you ask a question, they're not masters of like a bunch of little like not what is it good at mediocre at a lot of things, but no master of like one thing, and that
Yeah.
really helped you get what you need to go to the next step.
Yeah, not the jack of all trades, master of none.
Yes, that phrase. I was trying to find that phrase.
I knew that's what you were looking for. I was like, I'm going to hold that one in my pocket for a second. I always love that that's one of the things that I've really enjoyed about you from the very first time I saw you on social media. I like the fact that sometimes you're quirky and goofy and funny and you laugh and you have fun and you're always so positive, and it really makes it fun to be a part of this. So I love that.
Yeah, well, you are the client you attract, right? Like, I end up attracting people who like to laugh and, take quick action and not take things too seriously, and then, win as we go along. So, definitely that's the community that my clients and I end up enrolling. And if they weren't that before, they become that later
Absolutely.
on. Yeah, because we're here to have fun. We're not here to struggle bust our way through this, right? We're here to really make a difference and an impact on people's lives and have fun while we're doing it. So I believe very strongly in that vision, and that's the reason why our coaches have been with us for so long. And we don't have people like cycling in and out. We have steady people. They show up, and that's really helps a lot with clients' care and client success. And like, we just invested about $30,000 in just client care alone to make client care even better than what it is right now. We get raving reviews about it, but I'm consistently investing in, making sure that the environment you step into is world class. So more good things to come, Jason.
Absolutely. Yeah. I definitely love the fact that I think that's one of the hardest things when people get into the online space of understanding, you have to invest in yourself. You know, it's no different than believing in yourself. And if you don't, um, how can anyone else? So you really, I don't know. It's just amazing. I love it. I'm having so much fun with it. And I'm not gonna lie, I have my days where I get a little stressed or I'm like, oh man, whatever. But it's a different kind of thing that I'm thinking about than before. Before it was more like that kind of panic, pull your hair out kind of feeling. And this is more like, okay, I gotta make a decision, choose a direction, and just go, because I have agreed to myself that I'm not going to do this perfect. Um, I'm going to do it the first time out to the very best of my ability and adjust, fix what doesn't work, and keep moving forward. Because if I can do what I've done prior to launching, then I feel like I've really set myself up to have the potential to really have some amazing life-changing results, which is great. And being able to help people at the same time, it's like, that's where it's at, because I truly want to help people. And I feel like that's why I will succeed, is because I truly authentically feel that way. And I just needed some guidance to help me get there. And you, Kim, and your team have been that guidance I've been looking for.
Oh, all the feels, Jason. Yeah, I was gonna ask you if, like, for you, knowing what you know now and you continue to invest, it's like, almost, how can you ask others to believe in themselves and invest if you don't go ahead and invest yourself? And you've already done that, and you continue to do that. You don't throw in the towel. You're like, okay, this makes sense, let's go. I want to ask about the time. I know we can't really, like, look into the future or see the past or things like that. But how much time did you feel Ignite saved you, knowing what you know now? Let's say you continue the same path as you've been investing, but not really getting that success, enrolling 2 clients for 6 months. Um, in terms of time, how do you feel like we've collapsed time for you?
I, I mean, I can't even express how much that's been. It's because I was struggling so much. I was spending all my time, you know, like working, trying to figure it all out, investing hours and hours and hours. Where again, the way you set up the training and the way you have everything put together, you don't have to come in here and get on and work on things for 8 and 10 hours a day. It's you know what you need to do, and you can go in and do these things and structure them out in a time frame that's reasonable. I mean, really, it would be maybe the equivalent of a part-time job, to be honest with you. Um, from, what before was like 70, 80 hour weeks for me is, now like part-time job hours, your traditional 9 to 5 style job. So it's time wise, I would say it's cut 2/3 of wasting time. So it's down to about a third of the time, and way more results, like actually seeing results, and way less time has been extremely helpful. And my kids appreciate that very much.
Oh, yeah. Your kids get to spend more time with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
have.
actually my next question. Like, what personally, how do you see this changing, or how has it changed the way that you live life in your personal goals?
Well, again, it helps me really establish good relationships and be present in my kids' life. I've got 4 boys, so it really allows me to be present in their lives, and um, I'm not short or angry towards them because I'm stressed out. Um, I'm not ignoring them because I've got so much stuff I have to do. Um, I just, do what I need to do while they're in school. Um, Structure my calls that way. And then that's it. Just, the rest of the day when they get home is time to hang out and play and do homework and, you know, uh, go to a movie, whatever it is we want to do. So it definitely much more family time and quality time for sure.
Yeah, reducing the stress of pulling out the hair stress to now it's just making decisions and moving on, and then going from spending $70,000 and seeing like 2 conversion to 5 days, and you're already converting, and then less than a month in you're at 22K, looking at 40K, and having more time to spend with your boys and choosing your hours, working a third of less than 2/3 of the time, like a third of the time. So
Yeah.
sounds like we're on a good path, Jason.
We are, and it's only going to get better because I've always everything I've ever done in my life, from the time I joined the military to this day, every job that I've done, everything I do, I always do it to my very best, and I'm usually mostly one of the best, or at least near the top of the best in my field of whatever it is. So I just needed to know how to put all these pieces together so I could really come in here and crush it. So I have big expectations and goals for myself, and I believe I will achieve them thanks to you and your team.
I love that, Jason. As we wrap it up, because I usually do the interviews for about 50 minutes, I want to ask you a couple of questions about if someone's on the, number one, do people need to have a group and offer together a big audience? What are your honest thoughts about that for joining Ignite? Like, do you feel like someone could come in and we could help them with their offer, we can help them pitch it, and then monetize from their community, even if they don't do a launch?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the most exciting things for me, because I felt like what I had going on before my offer was so like broken glass in the floor, and just all over the place. And Michael really helped me structure it and get clear on it and like really dive into it. And um, so if somebody's going to jump into this, all you have to do is have a passion about something. Um, Even if your group is not huge, you don't have to have a giant group. It's about the quality of people that you speak to. And if you have, 50 people in your Facebook group that are interested in what you're doing, and you're able to deliver that to them in a very structured way and organized to where they can really understand it and consume it, you'll have people jump in and want to buy from you. And and it's amazing some of the high ticket things that people, we're not talking about $97 offers here. We're talking about, 5K plus. Like, I really feel like anybody that just has a desire to do this and an idea, you guys definitely help really bring that all together and make it solid. um, for me, that again, that was the biggest confidence changer for me. Once Michael helped me structure that offer, it was almost like having a shiny new car. When I looked at it, I was like, wow, this is amazing. I want to show it to everybody.
And you did. You start showing it to people, and the people are like, "Yes, let me buy that car."
Yeah, they absolutely did.
And yeah, so if you're on the fence, this is what Jason said. Where can they find you, Jason? Because a lot of times when you're listening to an interview, for the people who are not in our world, in our space, and aren't as trusting, they're like, well, that could be a fake person. And so to make sure that you are like who you say you are, where can they follow you? Who do you serve? Like, what's your audience? Because not, let's say someone's listening in, they might not resonate with me, but they resonate with you. And then they go and they follow you and they sign up to your program. Like, that's one of the win-wins of the way that I do these interviews as well. Because not everyone might resonate with like a bubbly Asian girl that laughs a lot. It might want to resonate with Jason, who's the father and the, work hard and really like loves, just who you are, who you embody. So where can they find you? And then, yeah, and we'll wrap it up with what's next for you, Jason. What are your goals?
So I actually, I teach people that are very new to the online space, how to start an online business and make money doing so. I also teach people that are already running a business, that are stuck or struggling, how to get them unstuck and moving forward and generating revenue. And as well, I teach people how to create courses on things that of their expertise and put it together so they can monetize that and structure an offer for themselves. And so I'm pretty much Jason Dillard official everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, uh, LinkedIn, you name it. I'm all over the place. It's always Jason Dillard official. My website is jasondillardofficial.com, and I'm about to put up a really cool new page there that I'm updating with all the cool new stuff I'm doing. So I appreciate you letting me throw that out there, and keep helping people out. You're doing such a great job, and I love seeing everybody inside of Ignite and the excitement inside. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you for showing up. It's as much you showing up and doing the work as it is me being the vehicle and helping you piece those pieces together. So keep on doing a good job, Jason, as well. Well, that wraps it up for today's interview. I hope to interview you again, Jason, after your launch. I like to kind of piece together the journey of a client as they go through Ignite and how they've grown. So I'm really excited for you because you are at your infancy. And, hearing that in a month you're making as much as you would make a year, and being able to not only do that, but not like really like exhaust yourself doing it, but being able to spend more time with your boys, and then retiring possibly your wife, and like having you go through this experience. I always say it is who do you get to become on this journey that is the most rewarding. So you get to
Absolutely.
become the dad that's present for your sons. You get to become the husband that is around for your wife, and you get to become the mentor and the teacher that changes your clients' lives. And that's really what this is about.
Absolutely.
All right. Awesome, Jason. Looking forward to having you back. I'm now going to put you back into the green room, and you can click X from there. Let me do that here. All right. So that was Jason. Amazing interview. He spoke about, the things that didn't work for him before Ignite, how he came in, and then after he joined, and really what are the differences, like how did he experience Ignite itself. You can find Jason anywhere at Jason Dillard Official, anywhere online, Twitter, and ask him, hey, like how was your experience really. The reason why I do these interviews is really if I can shift your mind and I can show you that someone can come in with barely any real offer that's really converting, to come in and within 5 days convert, and then within less than a month do more in that period than the past year of his life, and being more present with his family and being a bit more available. That's what this is about. And I'm really excited that you got to tune in today. We have hundreds of other interviews and testimonials just like this on our YouTube channel. If you go to youtube.com and you type down Kim Dang GroupConvert, or just GroupConvert space Kim, you'll be able to get our channel. Our channel is youtube.com/@GroupConvert. That's our handle, which is converting a group. We say it's about converting a group. Really, what we teach you is how do you really figure this out? How do you really have a good offer? How do you really convert on your offer? How do you really pitch one to many so that you can go and leverage your time? How do you take your time back? And then from there, how do you scale? So I'm really excited for what's to come ahead. If you are interested, if you're on the fence, if you're like, man, I've invested just like Jason $70,000 on all these coaching programs and I'm not where I want to be now, then comment onto this post, scale, and my team will reach out to you. Okay, so just comment below scale, or send me a message scale on Facebook, and I'll be able to get you in touch with my team to do a quick call to see, hey, are you qualified to come and work with us? And if the answer is yes, and we have room, because every client gets a one-on-one coach, so we can't accept everyone. We have limited spots available. So if you are that person, then we do have a few spots that it's opening up this week. Make sure that you comment below scale, or send me a message scale, and we'll get you in touch with a member of my team, and let's get you converting. All right.